We have a Whoniverse. This stuff is awesome, and well done to everyone involved with Doctor Who for getting this treat for us before the anniversary airs. I'm midway through a complete binge of Classic Who, watching most of the episodes for the first time, so this is great news on a personal note. The Tales of the TARDIS is great as well, but I'll talk about that in another video. Today's video is about the 60th, and we're discussing the chances that other Doctors might appear. Whether it's for a cameo or a big role, we're going to discuss the chances that each incarnation has of popping up, and give it a mark out of 10. Welcome to the video, by the way. Please subscribe to the channel for more. I'll be reviewing Orphan 55 when we get to 1,000 subs, so if you'd like to put me through 50 minutes of pain and torment, then please subscribe. Also, like the video and check out my last one if you missed it. I'll leave my other socials down below, but without further ado, let's get stuck in. The First Doctor. Now, obviously, William Hartnell passed away quite a long time ago, so this would have to come through the form of David Bradley. Bradley has previously played the role in Modern Who, appearing in Twice Upon a Time alongside Peter Capaldi. I'd like to think that he'd be more than willing to come back, having spoken quite fondly of Doctor Who in a recent interview. It would also be quite a circular narrative, with the 60th anniversary being a big milestone for the show, and linking it back to the first incarnation would be quite neat. One of the big factors that would point towards a potential First Doctor appearance is the fact that the 14th Doctor will be facing the Toymaker in these specials. We suspect the Toymaker will appear just for the last special, and it's already been confirmed by Russell that there will be a flashback. Could this see David Bradley reprise the role? On the other hand, we have to remember that David Bradley has already appeared in the show in Twice Upon a Time alongside Peter Capaldi, and if he were to be the only incarnation to show up, Russell may feel that that idea has sort of already been done. In addition, the First Doctor's era is already getting plenty of coverage with the recent announcement of the colorization of the Daleks, which is very, very exciting news, by the way. If anyone is coming back, I'd like to think that David Bradley is fairly likely locked in. 7 out of 10. The Second Doctor and Third Doctor. Now, I've put these both together because they fall under pretty much the same category in every department. So, to start off, I'm going to say it already, these two are not coming back. And obviously the main reason is because both actors have passed away, and it's pretty disrespectful to bring them back again. And I find it pretty disrespectful to just bring them back by like animating faces and stuff. I really hope that Doctor Who never goes down that path. Obviously you could recast. Has anyone seen Harry Melling? I think he'd be a great option as Troughton. In addition, Sean Pertwee could do a great impression of the third incarnation. However, as Pertwee put it, he doesn't really want to, which is completely fair enough. With Troughton, I think he would really suit the vibe of New Who. I don't think there's major demand for either incarnation. We're quite happy with what we've got, and if classic Doctors are to return, we're not bothered if it's not them, mainly because their eras were so long ago and they both passed quite a long time ago as well. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of the Troughton era, so I'd absolutely love to see him come back in a recast. However, I can also understand those who'd say that that's a bit disrespectful. It's a weird one, it's balancing what you want and what is ethical. I think it's more of a case of discussing with maybe Troughton's family, and I know Harry Melling has a big resemblance to his family member. I'm going to give both of these a 1 out of 10. The Fourth Doctor. It's no secret that Tom Baker is seriously getting old. We're all pretty sure he's retired by this point, as he's not really seen doing interviews or appearing at Comic Cons lately. He's not even been doing much Big Finish as far as I'm aware, with them releasing mainly stuff which was recorded a few years ago. But we have to remember, Baker is probably the most popular Doctor ever, and with Classic Who appearing now on iPlayer in the Whoniverse, it might be wise to get him in. In addition, he did appear in the 50th anniversary, maybe squashing that distaste for returning. As a positive ahead of the second and third Doctors, he is still alive, so there's still that possibility. Saying he did the 50th is also a negative because maybe he won't want to do the 60th, or maybe Russell won't want him in the 60th as it was already done in the last anniversary special. Now, I think Baker is pretty unlikely. I think mainly the fact that he's retired and probably wants a nice chilled life, which he deserves at this point, is the main factor. However, it's slightly more likely than the last two, mainly for the fact that he is alive. So there's a small chance that we could get some sort of voiceover or just something, but I doubt it. 2 out of 10. The Fifth Doctor. Peter Davison's been doing a lot of appearances in Doctor Who media recently. We've seen plenty of him in Big Finish, and he appeared in Power of the Doctor and Tales of the TARDIS. This would suggest that he's still quite well connected with the show, and would be up for a return. In addition, he still looks pretty energetic and nails the role every time he gets the chance. To add to the potential of him coming back, he has very close links to David Tennant, obviously with his daughter Georgia Moffat marrying David Tennant, and then her being his daughter, and it all becoming a very big clusterfuck of a family tree and Doctor Who tree. But regardless, Davison definitely seems interested in returns to the show in the future. However, it would need to work within the plot. I think it's sort of already been done in Power of the Doctor. I'm not sure if Russell would not only want to take something from Tales of the TARDIS, but also do the same shocking return as was done in the literal previous episode. So therefore, I'm going to give the Fifth Doctor a 6 out of 10. I think he's one of the more likely incarnations. However, I just can't quite see it happening. The Sixth Doctor. Colin Baker, similarly to Peter Davison, seems very keen on returns lately. He's alive and healthy and has appeared recently in Tales of the TARDIS and Power of the Doctor. In addition, fans are slowly coming round to Colin Baker, with him being maybe a little bit disliked back in the day, but now everyone's starting to like him more, particularly due to his Big Finish renaissance. Again, the plot would demand something here. Maybe we could do the Guardians of the Edge again, but once again, I just don't think Russell is going to want to rip off anything from recent times. I think he wants it to be new and fresh in his ideas. But one factor that would push for a Colin Baker return is the fact that Mel appears. For the longest time, we thought Bonnie Langford's character was just going to appear in Series 14/Series 1 of the Russell era. It looks like she's also in the 60th, based on this new shot from a Disney Plus trailer. Could we see some sort of flashback or even a current day shot with Colin Baker? Who knows? I give it a 5 out of 10. The 7th Doctor. Similarly to the previous two, McCoy has appeared both in Tales of the TARDIS and Power of the Doctor, and he's also alive, well, energetic, and could easily nail the part still. Based on interviews and interactions with fans, he's definitely interested, and he definitely still has that magic. But there's no Ace in the special, and I just can't see a reason why he would be in it, unless it was a mass cameo, similar to the final shot of the 50th. However, in the Tales of the TARDIS, we had a good line suggesting why these characters could still return with their actors getting older, so who knows, but I give this a 4 out of 10. The 8th Doctor. McGann is also alive, well, looking young, and he's aged very well, similarly to a certain David Tennant. I don't know if you've heard of him. In addition, McGann has become a fan favourite of sorts lately, with his lack of screen time becoming frustrating for fans who don't want to listen to audios. The demand for an 8th Doctor series is still present as it was 10, 20, however many years ago. And with the Whoniverse now appearing, and Russell confirming more content to come from within it, and spin-offs on the way, people are crying out for a McGann spin-off. So that would suggest that maybe he could appear here to set that up. I doubt it. I think they're more likely to hold off and set up McGann later. In fact, he doesn't really need a setup. People know he's the Doctor, and if he's doing a spin-off, he's going to be the Doctor. It's not like having to introduce a new concept or anything. Once again, the plot would not really expect McGann to come back. He's not a recent Doctor, so the only chance you're getting him back is probably in the Guardians of the Edge type thing, and as I've said numerous times, I doubt it. I give it a 5 out of 10. The 9th Doctor. Now, Christopher Eccleston has previously been very sort of distant from the show. However, he's started to come around to it lately. At Comic-Cons, he's even hinted at a potential return, saying he'd return if it was just him. You've also seen him really enjoy himself when recording Big Finish, and he nearly did the 50th, let's not forget. That doesn't say he's not interested, that says he didn't think the script was good enough for his character. The elephant in the room is the reason that he left the show in the first place. A major fallout with Russell, as well as the higher-ups within the BBC, and also the way he was treated on his way out of the show back in 2005. That proves to me he's not going to be too fond of the current production team, and again, the plot doesn't really call for an Eccleston return. However, I don't know, maybe they've patched things up behind the scenes and we could get Russell write both of his Doctors once again, but I doubt it, and I can't see him doing a cameo, so 2 out of 10. The 10th Doctor. He's in it. Well, sort of. The 14th Doctor's in it, but it's David Tennant all the same. We can say realistically that the 14th Doctor is going to behave pretty similar to the 10th Doctor, just with a few new features. So, yeah, I'm saying 10 out of 10 he's in it, even though technically it's the 14th, but anyway. But could we see 14 meet 10? Who knows? The 11th Doctor. Now, this is the one that most people are expecting to be in it to an extent. Matt Smith has been highly interested in a return since he left. He clearly loves the show and loves the part in particular. He's also got great chemistry with David Tennant, and they look like they have a great working relationship based on how they interacted with each other on the day of the Doctor, and also from Comic-Cons that have since happened. He's still young and looks pretty much exactly the same as he did when he left. And there was a time last year when they were filming the specials that he had a certain haircut that sort of resembled the 11th Doctor. Again, I don't think Russell wants to copy anything that's come before. I think he feels this needs to be quite fresh, and if it was just Smith and Tennant, that's just going to be the 50th all over again. So unless the plot demands another Doctor in a flashback, or just another sort of sequence where maybe the Doctor regenerates backwards or something like that, I'm not sure if he's going to appear. However, if any modern Doctor is going to appear, and to be honest, if any Doctor at all is going to appear to interact with the 14th Doctor and not in a flashback, it will be Matt Smith. 8 out of 10. The 12th Doctor. Now, Peter Capaldi is one of the biggest fans we've ever seen of the show. He clearly loves it, and he has done his whole life. He still looks the same as he did when he left, and he likes RTD by the looks of things. He's also interacted with Shooty lately at a Scottish Awards ceremony. However, I'm sure you've all seen what he said in interviews lately. The guy definitely doesn't want to be in this story. Unless he's pulling some crazy Andrew Garfield stuff on us, I think it's quite clear he hates multi-Doctor stories, and he sort of wants to distance himself from the show to an extent. I don't think I'm too crazy for saying he's probably not going to be in this special. 3 out of 10. The 13th Doctor. Jodie Whittaker only left the show in the last episode. However, it's been so long that it feels like she's been away for a while, and therefore I could see her coming back. She clearly loves the show. She's been doing interviews recently where she's been saying she's desperate for a return. However, she has had a recent departure, and that's both positive and a negative for her, as she's still pretty much in the character. However, she's also just left, so it might be a bit jarring to have a Doctor that left in the last story appear straight away, almost takes away from the emotional departure. In addition, we have to remember that Jodie Whittaker was going through a pregnancy at the time of filming, so unless they did some sort of pickup shots or cameos after the fact, doubtful she would have been able to be in it. And also her interviews suggest that she hasn't been asked yet, but she really wants to be asked, so that makes me think she's probably not in it, but there's a chance. 6 out of 10. Okay, some bonuses now. The Fugitive Doctor. Jo Martin clearly would say yes, but I don't see a reason why she'd be in this. 2 out of 10. War Doctor. John Hurt is dead, and there's no plot reason for him to be in it. If they somehow did something there, I'd be more surprised than you could possibly believe. 1 out of 10. 15th Doctor. Ncuti Gatwa. 10 out of 10. He's in it. Let's go. Now a quick fire round for side characters I think will be in the 60th. Mel Bush. Susan. Ian Chesterton. Martha Jones. And these are maybes. River Song, Gwen Cooper, Stephen Taylor, Clyde Langer. And that's it. Tell me who you think might or might not come back in the comments below. To be honest, my true prediction is that no other Doctors will appear. Russell's previously talked about his dislike for multi-Doctor stories, and he's the bloody writer, so the closest we're likely to get is a David Bradley flashback or Matt Smith cameo. Anyway, please like the video if you enjoyed. Check out my last upload talking about the trailer. Feel free to subscribe too, because like I said, pay when we reach 1,000 subs. Take care, and I'll see you in a bit.